Gang. What's poppin', man? Hey, welcome back. Welcome motherfucking back to another day, another episode. And let's talk everything. You already know who I am. I am the host, Carter Slaughter. Of course, you feel me? Wake and bake. If you smoke, wake up, bake up. You feel me? It's nice. It's beautiful. Yesterday was an even greater day. Marvelous, right? Of course, y'all know I got a video. Y'all know that. Hold on, y'all know I got a vid. You know, right? Let me get this up here and run again. At the end of the day, man, I had to pop this. Shout out to my boy Trap Lord Ross. Always doing his job. Always. That man is a monster when it comes to dropping these vids, gang. I ain't gonna lie to y'all because he be dropping some of the same shit. You know that I be researching and looking up. You know, shout out to you, Trap Lord. You be going crazy, man. You got crazy. And back to these aliens, right? Because we never was done with that. I know I done came in with some more videos. I done dropped the vid from Sis. I done did a couple vids about some more shit. You understand what I'm saying? But that's why this is Let's Talk Everything 414 podcast, because I'm gonna do vids about everything. Right? Because everything needs to be talked about, not just one thing. Everything needs to be discussed out here in this world, right? So let's dive into this video right here with Trap Lord, because from what I'm understanding from his video, and I ain't watched the full video, y'all. So I only did 10 minutes of this video, right? So we could probably finish this off together. And we're gonna find out some more information. But we still haven't heard any more information about General McCaslin. We still haven't heard any more information about the missing people. They got something to do with the aerospace disclosure and the technology, or the UFOs or the UAP disclosures. You feel me? So let's dive into this, gang, and let's see what's going on.
9 people total now who have either died or gone missing very, very suspiciously because they had been working on technology that either had something to do with UFOs or top secret defense contracts to do with rockets. Now, in this video, I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into some of the actual tech killed and disappeared over. Okay, hopefully I'm good talking about this. But look, we're going to take a risk, and I'm going to talk to you about these things in this video, because in the last video we uncovered a lot of crazy stuff, including an anti-gravity aircraft that is apparently top secret, and people are literally getting killed and going missing over. Okay, so I'm going to break it all down for you in this video, and I'm going to show you some very, very interesting clips about how the government is actually handling classified information related to UFO and technology. Okay, essentially, apparently there is technology that has actually been used by extraterrestrials to kill humans. Now, I'm not trying to get all conspiracy-minded on you here, but some people are debating whether these UFO experts, is it humans? Is it secret government organizations that are taking them out? Or is it even possible that extraterrestrial beings are actually taking them out? This sounds ridiculous, but once I show you the information in this video, you're going to believe it a little bit more.
Do you believe? Hey, it sounds like a movie, right? To me, it sounds like a movie, if you ask me. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on, my bad. It sounds like a movie because I'm like, for years and years, people have been saying these UFOs and UAPs they've been seeing extraterrestrials, they've been seeing aliens, you know, and it's been scaring people all over the world. But I feel like this shit is like a movie scene, because I ain't gonna lie, motherfuckers had dreams about this shit. You know, not me, other people across the world. They had dreams about this taking place, these type of things happening. And lo and behold, look, you feel me? Look what they finna disclose with us all of a sudden. Like it's just wow. I wonder how long they've been knowing this shit. They said since 1947, because in 1947, America apparently made a contract, made a treaty with these things. You feel me? To do gene splicing, and that's scary enough. Right? Well, let's dive into this video. Let's see what the hell we finna find out.
The government is in possession of UAPs.
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
And where?
I know the exact locations, and those locations were provided to the Inspector General.
Has any of the activity been aggressive, been hostile in your reports?
I know of multiple colleagues of mine that got physically injured, and the activity,
by UAPs or by people within the federal government?
Both.
If you were me.
He said he knows people that have been personally injured by UAPs and government organizations.
Where would you look? Titles, programs, departments?
I'd be happy to give you that in a closed environment. I can tell you specifically.
And I would say, and I've told people that you have to know where to look. They're not going to divulge it to you because of the classification levels. But if you know where to look and who to talk to, which is exactly where Mr. Grush can point you, then you have them.
This is terrifying. People are saying both is terrifying. Okay, people are potentially getting hurt by the UAPs, the UFOs, the extraterrestrial beings, and the government agencies. Really, nobody is safe. So a former government official would actually explicitly describe a highly advanced sentient brain implant that apparently has
You've
been
actually
in
seen
existence.
what you believe may well be alien technology, an implant. I have. What did you see?
I saw a technical device that had been removed, excised by the Department of Veterans Affairs by a surgeon, a trained physician from a U.S. military service member who claimed to have a UAP encounter. The physician claimed that the object tried to run on him or evade being excised.
So let me get this right. This object, whatever it is,
The object tried to run. The object tried to evade him. It's an object that they cut out of something else and it tried to run. You feel me? If that ain't scary enough, that shit sound movie like the object tried to escape after they cut it out of whatever they cut it out of or whoever they took it out of. That's by far some scary shit, gang. Right? That's crazy.
it's a constructed object. It's a technological object.
It's a technological object enveloped in some sort of biological capsule. The current theory is that capsule is there to fool the body as not to create some sort of immune response to a foreign object.
The physician you spoke to described that object apparently trying to intelligently avoid being captured by the human doctor.
Correct. That is what the doctor reported.
So they're really reporting that there is extraterrestrial technology being implanted in Americans. It sounds ridiculous. These are reputable news sources. Now, I'm going to show you something else crazy, okay? So there's a specialized Las Vegas-based UFO program that officially documented numerous cases.
It's beyond crazy, though. Like he said, it do sound crazy. It sound like a movie script or something. It's beyond crazy, though, when you get them from replicable news sources. You understand what I'm saying? When you got somebody who's represented as a believable news source, or you know what I'm saying, any believable source of any type of information, gang, that's when you know the shit's serious. You know what I'm saying? You can't overguess it, you can't underguess it, you can't not believe it, you can't question it. Like, oh, what if it's this? Shut your ass up. Dumb as hell, honestly, nigga, because these motherfuckers is top ranked official government officials that's giving out these, you know what I'm saying, these gems of UAPs and UFOs. Like, I would never question no shit like that. I already know that shit real. You know, some of y'all motherfuckers still out there dumb and not believing, but disbelief, you know, that'll get you fucked up.
Normal activity linked to alien encounters, specifically aggressive actions. And it sounds like the extraterrestrial beings, alien encounters, whatever you want to call it, are actually aggressive, and they do actually want to do harm to humans.
For 27 months, Las Vegas was UFO Central. A secret program known as OSAP was created back in 2008 with support from Nevada Senator Harry Reid, and actually became the largest UFO investigation ever undertaken by the U.S. government, at least as far as we know.
But the investigators for the program, all of whom had top security clearances, encountered things that were far stranger than UFOs, phenomena that could be accurately described as paranormal.
8 News Now Chief Investigator George Knapp, the only journalist allowed to know about OSAP, spoke to the government scientist who was the program's director. George?
Yeah, things get a little weird here. Back in that era, 2008 to 2011, I had heard the name Dr. Jim Lakatsky a few times, mostly in hushed whispers. I finally met him face-to-face on St. Patrick's Day, 2018, at a meeting in D.C. arranged by Senator Reid. That's when I received a full download about OSAP that stunned me. What they found in this sprawling UFO investigation is that these unknown craft, whatever they are, seem to generate spooky phenomena seemingly shouldn't exist.
We heavily went into Skinwalker Ranch, property of Robert Bigelow's. He offered a facility where we could see UFOs and the paranormal at once in one location.
How did this ranch in northeastern Utah, previously owned by Las Vegas aerospace tycoon Robert Bigelow, become a key part of the government's classified UFO investigation? It started at DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency, where rocket scientist and intelligence analyst Dr. James Lakatsky and a colleague, Jay Stratton, became both puzzled and alarmed by reports about UFO intrusions at many of our nation's most sensitive national defense facilities. Residents of the Uinta Basin in northeastern Utah had been reporting frequent UFO incidents for decades, probably longer. And the Bigelow Ranch was deemed.
I heard of this Skinwalker Ranch shit, y'all. I heard of it like multiple times. I'm not quite sure when I first heard of it or where it started at, but I have heard of this Skinwalker Ranch shit. And to be more specific, I heard the kids talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the Skinwalker Ranch? Now, Skinwalkers I have heard of also. You know, I heard of a lot of people in Milwaukee, Wisconsin talking about them. And they used to always tell us that they was on the Riverside Trail. You know what I'm saying? It's a trail where everybody go to walk at down there by Riverside High School on the east side, if you're familiar with Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So, and if you ain't familiar, then yes, that's the trail. It's called the Riverside Trail. I never seen one of them down there. You know, skinwalkers. I think I seen skinheads. You know what I'm saying? Them the bald-headed white man who don't like black people. You understand what I'm saying? But they do be on the trail too. But I never seen anything of the nature of what they talking about, like the dog man. I never seen the creatures, like, you know, a different creature that would have fucking spooked me out. I haven't. I'm just.
Of weird activity, not just UFOs, but also unknown creatures, things that presumably exist only in myths or movies. Okay. Bigelow's organization, NIDS, moved on to the ranch and its team of scientists
that
and
man said unknown creatures, things that presumably only exist in myths or movies, gang. If that ain't scary, that ain't scary, gang. I don't know what to tell you. He talking about they saying shit on this ranch that only exist in movies. You understand what I'm saying? Now that's some scary shit. You got me fucked up. I ain't trying to go see nothing that only exists in a movie. Honestly, I would though. My curious as I am, I'm gonna want to see it. You know what I'm saying? Fear just won't live here for that, but it will blow my mind. I will fucking fall out, all types of shit. I'm gonna shit. I'm gonna wake back up, shit again. But just to know that they got this shit and they willing to show a motherfucker like, hell yeah, look, we'll take you down here and let you see this. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy in itself.
began collecting testimony from residents, then started seeing the creatures and phenomena for themselves. Lakatsky, Stratton, and the bosses at DIA were intrigued, not repelled, by the wild stories. They wanted to know if UFOs and the seemingly related paranormal incidents might be considered a threat.
Because I could see from my organization the threat potential, and we weren't covering many of the things you were observing. Strange creatures. I mean, think of inducing these, what might be called illusions by some people, into an enemy force. We wanted to learn what can be weaponized here.
Lakatsky and Stratton put together a program which DIA approved. The acronym was OSAP. Senator Harry Reid helped secure the
right
funding.
away they want to weaponize whatever they were seeing. Whatever they were seeing at that moment, they want to weaponize it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said, imagine inducing this on the enemy. They seeing creatures, they seeing this and they seeing that. Who gonna want to imagine doing that? Like, gang, how in the fuck can you even imagine inducing some type of demon wolfmans and wolves standing up on two hind legs on your enemy? Like first off, to even have the idea to create something like that is my fault. You know what I'm saying? But to utilize it for your enemy, weaponize it for, come on, gang, for beef. These motherfuckers want to weaponize everything. When I say everything, that's everything. I don't understand us. Like,
Bigelow Aerospace was the contractor. 50 full-time investigators were hired, obtained top-secret security clearances, and went to work. The main focus was UFOs and UFO technology, but one smaller focus was measurable health effects on people who encountered a UFO and were physically harmed or developed rare diseases, including psychological effects. That allowed OSAP to cast a wide net and to report seemingly outlandish stories about...
Did y'all see that thing? Did y'all see that disappear and reappear and then disappear and reappear right there in mid-air, gang? That shit was crazy. That was crazy. Now, I wonder if that transmedium shit, or when they be saying the UFOs they can disappear, they can go through concrete, they can go through walls. You feel me? Like, this shit crazy. Now they've been knowing this for years though, gang. I just seen, hold on, I'm gonna mute this so we can look at it again.
secret security clearances and went to work. The main focus was UFOs and UFO technology, but one smaller focus was measurable health effects on people who encountered a UFO and were physically harmed or developed rare diseases, including psychological effects. That allowed OSAP to cast a wide net and to report seemingly outlandish stories.
It got smaller. It got smaller. I noticed that. I seen it. It looked like it went farther and got smaller. So that thing can change sizes. Like, that's some weird shit, bro. They might be super advanced. You feel me? Like, it could be another advanced civilization. I mean, we never know. It could be a very well advanced civilization that we don't know about, that the government been probably, you know, talking to, trading secrets with, trading technology with. Ain't no telling, but that right there by far was crazy as hell. Now one of us ever seen no shit like that, gang. I ain't never seen no shit like that. That motherfucker was this big as hell. Like, dog, what the fuck? You hear me? That remind me of the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. When dude made the machine to shrink the kids, gang. Y'all remember that? Like, that shit wild. That shit crazy, man. I ain't never seen no shit like that. Hey, you better believe they got way more technology than this. This is why they saying America's so cold. We probably got some of the most top ranked classified technology out there, you know?
Features, poltergeist type activity, and other weirdness. Dr. Lakatsky says that OSAP created a massive database of UFO accounts, but the witnesses were typically reluctant to admit that they had also had paranormal experiences after encountering UFOs.
But we realized that people who openly say and are confident enough to say, I observed a UFO up close, maybe on the ground, that they always seem to have a paranormal connection in some way if you gently push them.
Perhaps the strangest experience reported by nearly everyone in OSAP who visited the Bigelow Ranch is what is now known as the hitchhiker effect. At least 5 highly experienced intelligence officers who went to the ranch to check things out came into contact with paranormal phenomena and then took it home with them. They and their families would see balls of light inside their homes, shadowy figures, even creatures that were physical, not merely a mental image. After one investigator returned from the ranch to his East Coast home, his entire family was bedeviled by orbs and what they described as a wolf that walked on 2 legs.
The one here in the Washington area, and that's why you have to say paranormal.
A wolf that walked on 2 legs, gang. What the fuck is really going on in the world we live in? Somebody really tell me, what the fuck is the government really doing out here? What do they got these scientists creating out here? These people said they seen a fucking wolf walking on 2 legs, my nigga. Like, come on, man, don't clap for that shit. Thank you. That's some scary shit. You know damn well not to clap for that. A wolf on 2 legs? Would you want to see a wolf on 2 legs at all? I know damn well you wouldn't. At the end of the day, and seeing poltergeists are things that we see in ghost movies, gang. Poltergeists are those fucking things we see in ghost movies. How the fuck is these people saying poltergeists on the motherfucking ranch? Somebody tell me that. Make it make sense. Make that make sense, gang. You know, that, like I tell people, I tell people all the time, the government got so much power, they got so much money, they got so much authority that it's a world of things that we can only imagine that they're doing right now, gang. You feel me? We can't even imagine or fathom what's really going on and taking place, what's really, you feel me, on the opposite side of what they only telling us. You feel me? These people probably could have went to another world already, another planet where other people, where other civilians, other species. Definitely, if this shit is getting back to our Earth, I ain't gonna lie to you. If it's able to cross over here now, that tells you something. That tells you they've been doing things that we know nothing about over these last years, these decades, these centuries. They've been doing a lot of work, you feel me? Whether it's been good work or bad work. But now we sort of finding out it's a little bit bad work. It's a little bit on the bad side. You understand what I'm saying? Because now they got UAPs, they got extraterrestrial aliens all on Earth and oceans and things like that. Now they're trying to say they're attacking humans, gang. Something right.
What did it get in a train or plane and come to Washington? It left deep scratch marks on the tree it was resting against. There was physical evidence.
After the existence of OSAP was first reported by us in 2018, and the full scale of the strange phenomena it had examined was made public by Dr. Lakatsky in his books, including the newest one, New Insights, skeptics claimed the DIA had killed OSAP at the end of 2010 because the reports it received were simply too weird.
Did they ever have the opinion that, oh gosh, this is getting kind of weird?
No, they never did. They basically kept quiet. That's all. They didn't want to see it in the Washington Post.
Lakatsky and others familiar with OSAP tried to find a new home, a spin-off version, something called Kona Blue. Harry Reid helped lead that charge, and the Department of Homeland Security initially said yes, then higher-ups killed it. Lakatsky's new book hints that some slice of Kona Blue did move forward, but he declines to spill further details about that for now.
So all kinds of instances of very suspect encounters, okay? People are saying the truth isn't out there, the truth is here, all right? People saying it's true, all right? It really is happening. There really are extraterrestrial encounters, but this has been something that's been going on for decades, okay? So back in the 70s and 80s, I don't know if you remember this. I wasn't alive, but I do remember people talking about this. There was a relentless string of unexplained cattle mutilations across America, and this escalated into pretty horrifying verified instances of human mutilation, which some people do think has something to do with these hostile extraterrestrial beings, basically deals with.
I had this video deep right here. I did a video on this, and this general that's going to speak, this is where he tells about America making a contract with these extraterrestrial aliens in 1947. You feel me? Now listen, y'all pay attention, gang.
14,000 cattle mutilations that happened.
That's right, and we were particularly prevalent around Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah. And it was a documentary made by Linda Moulton Howe for the CBS affiliate in Denver.
And let's take a look at that now, a piece of it.
Colorado are going to die each year from hard winters, disease, lightning strikes, predator attacks, and other natural causes. But in northeastern Colorado, another favorite spot for the mutilators, Tex Graves, former sheriff of Logan County, insists the 93 mutilated carcasses he investigated were not natural deaths.
The very first one we had was southwest of Sterling. When we first looked at it, it was just unbelievable that you could take an animal and do this too without leaving some kind of track, some kind of evidence behind, such as cigarette butts, matches, handprints, footprints, but there was nothing. The animal looked almost horrible, and it was something that I didn't really want to believe then. And there was, we probably had 5 or 6 others before I really did believe something strange was going on. We had one up north.
Dang, that's no footprints, no tracks, no cigarette butts, no nothing. You leave not a piece of evidence of yourself coming mutilating these guys. Nothing strange going on. What the fuck are you talking about? Let's carry on.
Where we believe the animal was paralyzed and was alive when it was being mutilated. An eye and an ear, the tongue, the rectal area was taken out, but the animal dug a hole with its head, but none of the other parts of the body moved, not even the legs. 6 north of town on a very hard pasture.
That man said everything was took off, the ears, the asshole, the eyes, and the animal dug his head in a hole, gang, and nothing else was moved, not even the legs. That means it was standing there, standing still while it was being mutilated. Like, what's really going on, gang?
Most like hard brick. We found tripod marks 12 inches across. The tripod marks were 14 feet apart. We found one set that had gone in the ground roughly 8 inches. And it would take a good post hole digger or our shovel to dig in like this. It indicated something very heavy hadn't set down in this area, yet there was no tracks leading from it nor to it. Almost nightly when this was going on, we could pick out a very brilliant, huge, brilliant light in the sky. We had a newsman take pictures of it with a very high-powered lens, but all we got out of this was the movement of it and the light showing very brilliant. Several times we observed I know smaller lights come out of this aircraft and then come down toward Earth. This huge, brilliant light would hang in the air, and then when it would move, it could move up and down, backwards, forwards, travel very rapidly. And after a while, these smaller lights would join up with the larger one, and then they'd disappear.
Lou Gerardo is the chief investigator for the district attorney's office in Trinidad, Colorado. Extraterrestrials are the ones mutilating animals. What do you think the implications are then for this planet?
Throughout the mutilations, all of us involved have been concerned with the possibility of the mutilations going from animals to human beings, understandably. Thank God to this point it hasn't happened. Whatever they're doing.
From animals to human beings, that sounds like gene splicing, if you ask me. You understand? That sounds like gene splicing. Definitely, if y'all go from the animals to the human beings, you feel me? Like, come on, now y'all finna start testing or letting them test, you know. And then if y'all already knew they was mutilating them, and you could tell they knew because it's been going on. They've been getting too many reports without anything being done, right? So if they knew they was being mutilated, y'all already probably knew they was finna go to humans next. Y'all knew that shit. Y'all just was the ones not giving a fuck. You understand what I'm saying? So
Well, the portions of these animals they are taking, I haven't the slightest idea. There's a reason for it. It's not haphazard. There's a pattern to it. I don't know. I think it's a wait-and-see game. What else can we do? If we do have beings from outer space doing this with the capabilities to do things like this, what can we as a human race do? If they have the knowledge and the technology that it looks like they have, we're powerless. So
basically, he's just saying we can't do nothing about it. We're powerless. They got technology we don't have. They got the things we don't have to do this. We're powerless. Like, that's basically another admission. And you know, we allowed them to do this. To me, that's what that sounds like. Y'all ain't powerless. If y'all can get these motherfuckers down here, y'all can trap them down here. Y'all can recover UAPs and UFOs and things of that nature. Y'all recovering alien technology. Y'all ain't powerless at all by long. You hear me? That's the last thing I want to hear that motherfucker from America say. Oh, we powerless. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah, the sea game. I can't see anything else to do.
Well, he says the mutilations have not gone from animals to humans yet. You agree with that?
There have been some humans. It's a very, very sensitive subject. I'm going to.
See the way he answered that, and he smirked. They said, "Thank God it's not gone from animals to humans." He said, "Hey, it already has, man. Can't even talk about it."
Steer away from that, but
you got to steer away from it. What do you mean?
Look,
Agree with that?
I told you, gang. They already did humans, and he said he don't want to talk about it because it's a sensitive situation. He want to stay away from it. No, it's because they told you not to talk about it. It's because they told you not to talk about it. Y'all had a contract with these aliens to allow them to do humans, to kidnap humans and start working on them, testing their DNA to see if they can splice it and things of that. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no food. And I'm gonna let y'all hear it out of his mouth, out the horse's mouth. We gonna see it the same.
There have been some humans. It's a very, very sensitive subject. I'm going to steer away from that.
Why? Tell us. There have been mutilations of humans, and it's a sensitive topic. He's got to steer away from it. Are you kidding me?
But I will tell you that since the beginning of this year, there have been over 200 animal mutilations on Long Island. It's supposedly a big secret. I know that there's 4 major law enforcement investigations, investigators working in plain clothes.
On Long Island, New York?
Yeah, Long Island, New York. We have an investigator working with us who's sending us videotape and keeping us informed of what's going on. So it still is a problem.
And you say it's food. That's what they're doing.
Well, food or genetic experiments, take your choice.
Now,
Wait, food or genetic experience? Hey, look at Travelor. Look at Travelor face, gang. He dropped his head. Food or genetic experience? Nigga, ain't no food. They not aliens. Don't even eat fucking cows. Come on, man. Make that shit make sense. Nigga, they doing genetic experiments on human beings, and the government knew it the whole time. Y'all allowed it. And that's why that's why he looking the way he looking, that's why he explaining it the way he explaining it, my nigga. Like, pay attention, listen in detail to what these people talk about and how they see it, gang. He said it right out of his mouth. Humans are genetic, and now this where he finna get greasy with it and say, look, the government made a contract treaty with aliens. We said it's okay for them to come down here and collect humans as long as they give us alien technology. Watch what I tell you. Listen, gang.
What did my man just say?
Informed of what's going on. So it still is a problem.
And you say it's food. That's what they're doing.
Well, food or genetic experiments, take your choice.
Food or genetic experiments, take your choice on humans.
Now, it hasn't gone maybe to the point of where they're mutilating humans, but you do believe there are abductions. And you also believe that at one point there may have been some kind of a clash between American military forces and these UFOs.
That's one of the stories when we began to discover what I call the Grand Deception. Was in 1979, and apparently there was some kind of clash. 1983 is the date that I call that we finally recognized that we had made a disastrous mistake. And that's when MJ-12 realized that they were in deep, deep trouble. They had made a deal with these people, and it had not worked out. And now the question was what to do.
He's really talking about there have been confrontations between the military and the extraterrestrials, and they don't know what to do about it. It's this thing scares me every day. The more I've been looking into this extraterrestrial stuff, the more I'm terrified. And as if you weren't alarmed enough, people.
Did you niggas just hear what he said? They made a deal with aliens. The man said they made a deal with the aliens, and then they found out later on, years down the line, they made a wrong choice. They should have never made the deal. What type of shit is this? What type of shit is this? Come on, man. He said they made a contract with the aliens, man. Listen, y'all.
People, it's not just aliens in the sky, okay? They're in the water too. I'm telling you, people, they are in the water too. So apparently, based on the atmosphere, okay, there's been credible reports that apparently there's unidentified submerged objects, USOs, not UFOs, not unidentified flying objects, unidentified submerged objects, USOs in the water operating within the deep sea. No word of a lie. Look at this.
The congressman from Tennessee believes in USOs. He's the co-chair of the bipartisan UAP caucus, which he launched to look into allegations UFO whistleblower David Grush made in his interview with me about a legacy crash retrieval program being hidden by the US government. Burchett has helped lead multiple congressional hearings looking into an alleged cover-up, working to strengthen whistleblower protections. He's very keen on the idea that some or many of these UFOs are coming from underwater. You've been quite outspoken on the subject of USOs. Why is that? What prompted your interest?
Well, my conversations with pilots, and they seem to always be over water. And then a chance conversation I had with a former admiral, who, or I guess you're always an admiral if you're one, about these 5 or 6 deep water areas. And it just seemed to make sense. That's where you're seeing a lot of the observations of the UFOs. And then when I'm told something big as a football field is moving at 200 miles an hour underwater, when I know the best we have is around 30, it lends itself to a lot of...
Wait, something big as a football field moving 200 miles per hour underwater? Man, that's some scary shit. You got me fucked up. They already said the best they have, the Army got, is 30 miles. What supposed to move that fast in the water that fast, gang? Besides Godzilla, right? Like, what's moving that fast
underwater? A lot more questions than answers.
I understand you've spoken to people who are direct witnesses to claims that there are objects that have been detected underwater moving at hundreds of miles an hour. What more detail can you give me on these particular incidents?
Well, of course, it's done by sonar, and the fact that we have nothing in those capabilities. And if you shoot a bullet literally into a swimming pool, it's going to go just a few feet before it just stops. But you can shoot it through the air and it can go over a mile. And it just shows you the amount of friction and the amount of power that would have to have. But also it lends itself to why we keep seeing these things over water and then things that dive into the water.
One of the things you've spoken about is the speculation of underwater bases, not human bases, but bases by non-human entities. What can you tell me about what you've been told?
Well, that the concentration would be such that that's where they would be, and that we have not been able to explore any of these areas. If you just look at the numbers of sightings out over the ocean, it just seems to lend itself to that. And if you wanted to be undisturbed, where would
Hey, nah, that right there is scary as hell. I ain't gonna lie. He just said they can be underwater. You know, he said why we keep seeing things in our skies and dive in our water. Like, good question. We want to know why too, motherfucker. Seems to us y'all made a contract with these motherfuckers. It seems to us y'all made a contract with these motherfucking extraterrestrials and y'all ain't let nobody know. Y'all didn't. Y'all ain't tell a soul. Y'all hid it from the government. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all did. Like, and now y'all want to come out with it because y'all scared of the deal y'all made with these people.
You in the middle of New York City or Knoxville, Tennessee, you'd go, although there's some strange things I've seen here, you would go where you would be least disturbed. And so the most unexplored area and the vastness of our great oceans is kind of hard to comprehend at some point.
He's saying that aliens are in bases underwater. Okay, this is, I don't know. I feel dizzy.
You've speculated about 5 or 6 bases of non-human entities. Where did you get that number from?
From some Navy officials that had, in fact, had broached that subject to me. I always remember the last thing this one fellow said because you've been in my office.
5 or 6 bases. 5 or 6 bases, gang. That gotta be some scary shit. I don't know where in hell they could have known 5 or 6 alien bases been underwater. They probably did. They probably been knew this shit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Our government, America, probably been knew this shit. The other governments around the world, the Chinese government, the Russian government, they all probably been knew this, gang. You understand? They probably just not recognizing that this shit is getting out of hand. There ain't really nothing they can do about it.
Off one door and you can go out the other if you choose. And nobody ever does. They just go out the entrance that came up. He chose to go out the other door so he could kind of get away from all the other. And the last thing he said was, he looked at me and said, "Tim, they're real." And I'll never forget that. And it led me to believe that he had more information.
And to be very...
So apparently there's numerous alien bases underwater. And there's senior officials in the Navy saying, "Tim, they're real."
Clear about this, Tim. What you're saying is that these objects underwater, these bases underwater, they are non-human. You're clear about that?
That would be my belief, yes, sir. Again, we don't have the capabilities of traveling there or doing anything else.
Clearly, something is operating in our oceans very close to the continental United States. And as you've speculated, it's perhaps using it for some kind of surveillance.
100%. That's the only reason that would be doing it. When the numbers go up and then they drop off, it's almost nothing. And then you have these clusters that occur. And that would lead you obviously to believe that something is observing us, or we're observing something and we're observing them. But yeah, I guess it still just bothers me that our government won't come forward with it because, and the guys on the intelligence committee, I think, and gals, I think you have a few in there that just want to dissuade us from finding out what the real truth is.
Well, let's go to basics, Tim. Do you think we are being lied to by the government of the United States about the nature of these threats from the ocean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do. I think we're being lied.
Just said it straight up. Are we being lied to? Yes, sir.
Do about a lot of things. But I am the part of the government. I don't trust it. I don't trust what's going on. You have to ask yourself.
Damn, he said, "I am part of the government and I don't even trust what's going on now." That's scary. That's scary. And he did say, "Yeah, I definitely believe we're being lied to." That's some of the most scariest piece of information to ever have to take in. You feel me? Because like I said, for years they've been lying about this shit. So Can y'all possibly imagine what else they could have lied about for all these years? Murders, deaths, cover-ups. You feel me? Like, come on, man. Pay attention, y'all. Pay the fuck attention. Wake up.
Why are we being told to keep quiet? Why the secrecy? And it lends itself to Washington in itself. It's about power. It's about control. It's about secrecy. And therein lies some of the power and control over all of us. And I suspect all governments across the globe are the same way.
What do you think is President?
He's saying he's in the government and he's saying, yes, they're lying to you and they're real. Insane. All right. Someone in the comments says, my father spent his whole life at sea and he told us many times there were visitors living in the sea. Oh my God, this is just terrifying, okay? Terrifying. When you have 70% of the Earth's surface covered by ocean, it's quite obvious where the UFOs are hiding, okay? I don't know what to tell you, people, all right? These are serious people telling you, yeah, they're real. This isn't conspiracy theories. This isn't some meth head in Skid Row talking about the aliens came and took his shoes. This is suited up members of the government telling you they're real. So high-level whistleblowers have actually confirmed the existence of a massive UFO craft that's so big that instead of moving it, the government had to build a building around it. That's how big they are.
It's reportedly an object that is not in this country that is so large it cannot be moved, that they've built an entire building around it. And that's one of the locations that I'm requesting to get to. It's going to involve a lot to make that happen, but that may be the final destination.
So that is the claim, and it was made by a Republican member of Congress, that there is reportedly this object in another country that's so big it can't be moved, and a massive structure has been built.
Hey, why the alien look like he's throwing up GD? That's crazy as a motherfucker, dog. The alien look like That's crazy, man.
Around it to hide its location, but several questions remain. What is this? When did it get here? And why is it being kept a secret? Our next guests are both trying to get those answers. Missouri Congressman Eric Burlison, who sits on the Congressional Oversight Committee investigating UAPs and is trying to get permission to visit this alleged site.
My boy, Dr. Stephen Greer. Dr. Stephen Greer, man, we got to give him a round of applause. I got this app, $10 app. You feel me? It's a great app, man. Teach you how to contact these extraterrestrials in a peaceful way, in a peaceful manner, not in a way and not in a manner that the military is doing. You feel me? Disturbing them, destabilizing them, no. But in a manner to bring peace and to show them that you mean peace and nothing but love and peace. And at the end of the day, I think that's how these extraterrestrials work. And that's what Dr. Greer said. You know, I've been watching and researching Dr. Greer for a while. I need to read some of his books, but I know he's a great guy. Excellent work. Let's hear what he got to say, man. Let's dive into this, man. Shout out to Trap Lord Ross again for this video, man. Shout out to Trap Lord. I'm glad he got on this. He's one of the greatest podcasters, you feel me? Because he do his work, and a lot of cats hate that. So shout out to you, gang. Let's go.
Alongside the founder of the Disclosure Project, Dr. Stephen Greer. It's great to have you both here. Congressman, what do we know about what this thing really is?
I don't know that I have any hard evidence of what it really is. I've had allegations from both inside and outside of the federal government that there is this object that exists in another country. I'm not going to mention the country because I've heard of it inside of a closed setting. And I want to protect my classification, though.
All these people know what's going on, and it's all classified. They're not even allowed to talk about it. They know what's going on.
But others may say that. I can tell you that it's not in the facility that's been widely reported in the news. But I have been receiving reports both inside and outside of people that have worked in the federal government that there is the potential that this exists.
Okay. Dr. Greer, you have said publicly that this is outside Seoul, South Korea. Is that accurate?
One of them. Now, remember, I have debriefed almost 800 whistleblowers who've had direct involvement with this. One of them was with the Pentagon for about 8 years as a very senior investigator and had baseline clearance across 18 black project, unacknowledged special access projects. He specifically knew of the one in the mountains outside Seoul, South Korea. It was so huge, they had to build a structure around it. And he was read into this in between 2002 and 2010.
Okay.
So it had been there for some time. Now, I also know there are others that have been brought down in other locations. And if they're over a certain size, they're very, very hard to move. Imagine if they're bigger than a football field. And you're not going to put that on a semi. So it becomes logistically impossible to move it. And then in the United States, we know where there's some others, such as near Fort Sill, Oklahoma. There's a smaller one. They built a SCIF, a facility around that one. We have its location. So
wow. He said there's one in America, nigga, in Oklahoma. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dr. Stephen Greer, when he pop his shit, I'm telling you, gang. And they hate that man. They be trying to silence him, but at the end of the day, you see, they trying to weaponize this. They're trying to find these aliens. They're trying to get these ETs to weaponize them. I don't think we want to play that game. They make too many movies about this shit, man. We see this shit in movies. We see it day in and day out. I don't think America want to play that game. We need to stop playing these games, man. Y'all already lying to Congress. Y'all already lying to everybody. Y'all lying to the whole government. Y'all lying to the whole government. Stop playing them games, man. You understand what I'm saying? Let this shit be revealed. Let us know about this, what's really taking place. See, Dr. Stephen Greer, he got books about this, and they try to shut him up, but he come out, he pop his information when he do pop in. When he pop off.
So there's numerous crafts that have crash landed on Earth that are immovable objects that are so big that they can't even move them, that they've had to build facilities around them both inside the US and abroad.
I know that the congressman can speak, to what he's limited, but because I'm a private citizen, I can discuss these.
Congressman, are you referring to the location in South Korea?
I can't be specific to that location, but there are wide reports. What I can say is that I've seen articles that have pointed to a specific building, and from what I've been told, that is not the facility.
Can you explain why we can't? You're trying to get permission, I assume, from our government and another government or somebody with another country to go visit whatever this thing is. Maybe it's a spaceship, maybe it's nothing. Why can't we talk about where it is? I don't get that.
Again, because of the information was gathered inside of a classified setting on my behalf. What I can tell you is I have been trying to get access to even locations that reportedly have craft that are being reverse engineered, that are even close to Washington, D.C. And I'm having a difficult time getting access to even those facilities that are just within a few miles from my office in Washington, D.C.
So apparently there's facilities, they're reverse engineering alien technology near Washington, D.C. Can't even get access to it, okay? It is insane. So the government didn't know that the government found a UFO so large, but the government's now trying to get more info from the government, but it's so hard because the government keeps it classified. He was saying maybe this is why the US wants Greenland so bad. So look, thank God for Reddit, all right? Because I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you one of the alleged buildings, all right? Here it is. r/aliens 3 years ago. Anyang C locals photos of suspected UFO building, all right? It's locked off. It's classified. This is the one in South Korea. Okay, here are some pictures of the alleged building. They built a whole building around the UFO. Can't go in there. It's locked off. Don't even try. Barbed wire fence. You cannot even go up there. Okay, can't even go there. And it looks like a UFO. I'm not going to lie. The facility looks like a UFO. Looking mad UFO-ish. They got cars on the top of it. So I'm going to read this to you, right? This is insane. To catch you up, this building on a small mountain in South Korea is among those speculated to have been built around a crashed UFO. It's 265 feet wide, built of stone and concrete, surrounded by an 8-foot barbed wire fence. The signs mark it as belonging to South Korea's aviation authority, as it has navigational equipment mounted on top. Other models of this antenna platform can be seen elsewhere in South Korea, and the equipment for them does not extend below the platform, meaning this equipment is only built atop the building in question. The purpose of the building itself is unexplained. Local cyclists and hikers have visited the area and taken photos, as I collected as many as I could find. They're mostly from South Korean travel blogs. In all cases, I saw the person posting the photo did not suspect it of being anything other than an antenna complex, but did not investigate further. I'm literally not a specialist on anything, but my opinions follow. My first impression is that fence is over-engineered. It's weirdly beefy. The diameter of the post supporting it, as well as its height, seems excessive. It has barbed wire, so clearly it's intended to maim anyone attempting to scale it. It also appears to have camera setups on posts evenly spaced around the perimeter. This suggests that even with the fence, the entire perimeter is monitored or at least visible at all times through video surveillance. The building itself appears to be made of similarly sized but differently shaped stones from the area, almost haphazardly cemented together. It strikes me as the simplest permanent structure you could build around something if it was circular and if you didn't have a lot of space. It reminds me of how the Spanish built forts in some of their American colonies, built in a hurry from local materials. In comparison, the brick building out front looks modern and appropriately planned out. I would say the building looks at least 50 to 70 years old. I would say older, but the roof is tarred or paved. You can see cars parked on it in aerial photos and cracking from exposure to the elements. Please add your thoughts. So I'm just going to have another look at some of these walls. Some of these, I could see the stone walls. So they're saying that
I've seen this pic before, you know, and I heard of them saying that this was the spot where the UFO, and I can believe it, gang. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think they'll lie. I don't think people got reasons to lie. You know what I'm saying? To beef up this story for no damn reason. I think this is exactly the building, and I do believe this is exactly where the goddamn UFO could be. I definitely do. You know, I can't. You know, I don't know how else to put it to y'all. I mean, is she still in the bathroom? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going, gang.
I think it's built out of like local stones that they very quickly gathered from the area to cement around. And they're saying that the posts and the poles on these fences are irregularly high, trying to maim you with that barbed wire. Do not go in there. It is extremely fortified. And as you can see, these sort of these stones here again, this is looking like some old school English kind of brickwork from back in the day. It is terrifying. Okay. So people are saying, just want to point out the interior video is going around. What? This only shows inside the connecting shack. It does not show anything inside the circular building. Should we take a look? Is it still up? Here's the video. Here you go if the video does not propagate you. So here's a whole thread on it. Should we read the thread? Let me check out the video first. Let's check out the video. Oh, no. Let's refresh. Let's try again. They can't keep the alien technology from us forever. That's sus. All right, with a little trickery and hackery, I've managed to get hold of the video. Okay, here it is. Let's see what they're saying. So I think
I knew he was gonna say that. He said, with a little bit of trickery and hackery, I managed to get a hold of the video. He don't be playing. My boy, he don't be playing. He funny as hell. Okay, he funny as a motherfucker. Hey, let's keep going, man. Let's dive into this. Let's keep going.
Good on this annoying music, but look, this is somebody traveling up there. All right, they've traveled up there. Can we get some kind of we can't get any subtitles. So this is them actually entering the complex, entering the fence. We're seeing what's behind the gate. I'm scared of even showing you this, to be honest with you guys. This is going all the way up to the front of it. Okay. That's the little entrance building. And they're saying these brickwork, this is more natural. This is kind of more normal brickwork that you expect from something that wasn't so hastily built. We're actually seeing shots from inside this alleged UFO crash site. Okay. I wish I could understand what he's saying, but there's no translated subtitles available. What are they saying in here? People are asking if this is where the UFO was crashed. Satellite photos have been obscured. It says, why aren't they working in the circular building, but the small building next door? What on earth is that circular thing? I'm not saying the UFO conspiracy theory is correct, but aren't conspiracy theorists suspicious of the cylindrical structure next to the research lab? The inside of that structure isn't shown in the video either. If the exterior walls are made of stone, it isn't a typical building. It's excessively large to be considered a radar. So this is the scientific office that's attached to it, but no information on what's in there. So look, I'll read you this post. I'll show you how I finessed that video. It says, never a dull moment in UFO land. Ross Coulthard, the journalist who interviewed the whistleblower and Intel veteran David Grush, who claims the US has UFOs in its possession, has said the US has a UFO so big it couldn't be moved. They had to build a structure around it in a foreign country where it sat. Of course, this sent the UFO community on the hunt for this buried treasure. As a result, a facility in Seoul, South Korea, is what many people are saying is the mystery facility. While a big 270-foot wide round structure atop a mountain is certainly interesting in the context of South Korea, it made a ton of sense beyond concealing some giant UFO. Hard to hide that basically on the edge of an extremely popular city regardless, but that's not the point here. What about
man, I think, look, like I said, I think a lot of this shit, man, they don't want us to know anyway, but yes, that's most definitely the UFO. I believe it. I definitely believe it, and I ain't gonna say, I don't believe it. I believe it's fully. You can't tell me nothing different. Due to the fact that America and the rest of the governments all over the globe hide so much. You feel me? They hide everything, right? They keep everything top secret, classified, all this shit, gang. Come on, man, kill us with that motherfucking classified shit, man. Come on now. Y'all can kill us. At the end of the day, you know what's going on. People saying what they saying. They're talking about it for a reason. Ain't nobody dumb. I think they get angry that people are smart now. I think they is ultra upset that people, you feel me, aren't afraid to speak anymore either. You feel me? But, at the end of the day, you know, I feel like, yes, believe it's real. You got to believe it within your heart. And don't think for a second that they just here to kill us. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Stephen Greer said this out of his own mouth. They're not here to harm us. They're here to advance us. Only if we will show them that we come with peace and love, man. That's all we got to do. And let them know it's free. At the end of the day, man, I am out. That's my time. I love y'all. Make sure y'all have a great day, gang. Deuces.